Hello and welcome back to Justin Talks Villa. It is the weekly review show, and I know it is international break, so it is incredibly frustrating to start the season with 3 games and then all come to a grinding halt. It frustrates the hell out of me. When I was a kid, they used to play internationals on a Wednesday, and then games would be on the Saturday before and the Saturday after. Never any issues. But now we have to have these daft breaks every so often, which just brings everything to a grinding halt, which frustrates the hell out of me. But having said all that, I think it's probably come at a good time for Villa. We all know the frustration of the window. We could all see the body language of the players against Palace. The window hadn't shut. There were still deals to be done. It all played out. Monday was the cut-off point, and now everybody knows where everybody is. And let's just move on. It is time to bring the positivity back because we all need to be positive, I do believe. So this is the weekly review show. One or two little things to talk about. I've got a few questions to answer as well. It's not going to be massively long, but I think I just wanted to put something out to keep you all entertained a little bit on these miserable, wet days. So yes, as I said, it's time to bring the positivity. It's time to be positive about the future. As I say, all the players know where they're going to be now. I know there's issues to be ironed out, I am sure, on the return of the international players, but I'm sure they're all big enough and ugly enough to sort that out when they come back, professional as they are. Draw a line under it and focus on getting this team going again. It's going to be a tough comeback against Everton away. They started well. We all know about Jack, but we'll talk about that next week. Firstly, the news this week broke that the squad list for the Europa League is out. Now, we would have all died for this team or this squad of players to be our squad only a few seasons ago. So this is the squad Villa have put out. Martinez, Bizot, Cash, Lindelof, Konsa, Mings, Dean, Torres, Garcia, Matson, McGinn, Tielemans, Sancho, Onana, Kamara, Elliott, Buendia, Watkins, Marlon, Rogers, Gassan. Now, that's a good side, isn't it? That's a good squad of players. Just look at the quality there. So, yes, everybody's feeling a bit down and a bit negative, but based on results. But we all know, surely we all know that if this team can click, if we can just rise above the negativity, concentrate on the football, get one good result, then we will be absolutely fine, because that is a brilliant squad full of footballers. It is, though, isn't it? It's fantastic. So there was a few questions knocking about. One of them was, it's a shame for Bogart, but there's reasons behind it, as always, and it is shrouded in mountains upon mountains of information. So I've tried to simplify it as best I can so you don't have to. And these are the rules regarding squad lists in European competitions. This Europa League List A rules. So List A, List B, 2 lists of players. The list I've just read out is List A, and this is the rules behind List A. So maximum, clubs can register up to 25 players. Now, we'll get into locally trained in a minute, but locally trained players, there has to be at least 8 places must be reserved for locally trained players or club trained players. And if a club has fewer than 8 locally trained players, the total squad size is reduced. So only 23 players if you have 6 locally trained. You must have a minimum of 2 goalkeepers, and across List A and List B, there must be at least 3 goalkeepers. I'll have to move the camera a little bit. Initial List A must be submitted by UEFA on a set deadline, which they are. Clubs may make, sorry about the camera. Club might make limited changes before knockout stages. Up to 3 new players can be registered. Players must be properly registered with the clubs. Yeah, we know all that. So in short, maximum of 25 players, 2 must be goalkeepers, 8 must be locally trained, and the deadline before the group stages, which we have adhered to. So I hear you ask, what is a locally trained player? So club trained or associate trained, a player who between the ages of 15 and 21 has been registered with their current club for at least 3 full seasons or 36 months. Doesn't need to be continuous. The season before they turn 15 can count in some cases. The season after they turn 21 can also count in some places, but we don't have to worry about that. Association trained players, a player who between the ages of 15 and 21 has been registered with any clubs in the same national association as their current club for at least 3 full seasons or 36 months. Again, not necessarily continuous. Same birthday as before, the 15 or 21 can sometimes count. So if a club has fewer than 8 locally trained or squad ties in the list A, then the total number of players is allowed to register is deducted by that shortfall. So that is the reason that Lamar Bogard isn't in that list, because he is counted as a locally trained, club trained player. Are you still with me? Right, list B, and this is where all the youth team players come into it. So clubs can register unlimited players on list B during the season. The list must be sent by midnight the day before a match, so they can basically list every single youth team player. They have to have been born after the 1st of January 2004, so that means 21-year-old or younger. And then it's since turning 15, they must have had been with the club for 2 uninterrupted years or 3 consecutive years, with most 1 loan spell to another club. 16-year-olds can also be added if they've been with the club for 2 uninterrupted years. Goalkeepers must have at least 2. I have to sort this out, aren't I? It's a bit silly. Goalkeepers on list A. So list A and list B together, at least 3 goalkeepers, which is absolutely fine because we've got Bogard, Sam Proctor and James Wright, who we've both seen in the first team squad at some point this season already. The likes of Jimo Aloba, Hemmings, Burrows. So there's plenty of young players there that could supplement the first team squad for these European games. So we haven't got no issues with any of them. The only omission from that squad list, the first squad list, is Ross Barkley. Now, we haven't seen him at all this season, so I really haven't got an inkling of what's going on there. I believe he's fit, and I think he was surplus to requirements about in the summer, in the window, but he didn't get a move, so I don't know what's happening there, but I'm sure all will be revealed at some point. So I hope that makes sense. Squad list sorted. List A, first team players. List B, youth team players under 21, as long as they've been at your club for 2 years or 3 years over a period of time. Does it make sense? I hope it makes sense. I think it makes sense to me. Anyway, I'll do my best. Okay, next port of call is I wanted to congratulate the great Yuri Tielemans on being named permanent captain of Belgium. It is a fantastic honour for him and for Aston Villa that we have now got an international captain playing for us. He has been nothing short of sensational since arriving at Aston Villa, and he's still amazingly, despite, I feel like he's been around forever, only 28 years of age, so he's still got another 3 or 4, 5 years left at the top. And I'm sure this honour will give him a real boost on his return to Aston Villa, and he can hopefully pick up last season's form as soon as possible. So I wanted to really drop that in and say congratulations to Yuri Tielemans, the new Belgium captain. Right, I did ask for a few questions on the lovely site that is Twitter, so we'll go through a few of those. This is the first one, and this is from Steve Thompson. This break came at the right time. Hopefully the hangover from last season gone. Great tonic signing, Elliot. Do you think he will play right of the 10? I agree, Steve. I think it is a fantastic time to have a break. We needed it. Hopefully, it is a reset and everybody can go away, come back fresh, and we can start again. Elliot, will he play in the right 10? I mean, that is his position. I think that's where, if we look at where his positions are and has played for Liverpool, then we can see, if I bring this up, his 3 positions he played mainly in his career are attacking midfielders. That's in the natural 10 position. He has played in the 8-6, but I don't really see him playing anywhere at Villa in that position. Or he has played in on the right, inverted. Obviously, he's left-footed, coming in on his left foot. So, yes, it is an interesting 3 positions there. As I say, I don't see him really playing in the 6 to 8 role. 10 or wide right are his preferred positions and where he's had all of his success. I've had a very interesting email conversation with one of my great followers, and I will put that back up again. So if you do want to get in touch and ask me anything, then please do. justintalksville@yahoo.com, who is making the point pretty vociferously to me, and he makes his point very well now, and that you should be playing players in their correct positions. By that, I mean if you play a left footer on the left side and a right foot on the right side. But weirdly, he has never played on the left side, or very, very rarely. So these are his main positions. But I do sort of understand the philosophy of playing a left foot on the left and right foot on the right. Will Unai Emery do that with Harvey Elliott? No, I don't think he will. So it can be very interesting to see where he plays. But my guess is he will play off the right in that role there, cutting in or the 10. But I think the right potentially to start with. But it'll be very interesting to say because Ghassan can play on the right. So Harvey Elliott could play in the central 10. And then Ghassan, who did play on the left against Palace, but wasn't that great, would then come and sit where he usually plays and has had all of his success, especially recently, on the right-hand side. So potentially Rodgers on the left, Elliott in the central position, and Ghassan on the right. Okay, next question. And read it off here instead because I can't read it on there. Mark Hughes, what tactics would you like to see Emery implement for the next game? Stick to what we know / have been doing, or revert back to a 4-4-2 and get the basics right? He'll never play a 4-4-2, in my opinion. That's just something he'll never do. So I think it's a bit of both of the others. He'll stick to what he's doing, but we have to get the basics right. I think mentality has to be perfect, without question. I think a clear the air meeting is the way I would go. I think everybody is being really at times a bit upset and not knowing where they are. They've lost friends in the dressing room, and there's the Emi Martinez issue. We don't fully know. I mean, when the initial video I did on the Monday when I was seeding and I believed Emi Martinez had refused to play, I said I'd rather see Robin Olsen in goal. Someone pointed that out to me. But, it's unlike me. So it's unlike me to be as scathing as that. And then when I think I'd calmed down, the next video I did, and it seems to be reported that it was actually Unai Emery's decision to leave him out because he said he wasn't in the right frame of mind. It's always good to get the whole story, isn't it? And we probably don't know the full story, to be fair. But he just needs to come back, have a team meeting, a clear the air meeting. They're all, as I say, professionals, and hopefully back to basics, do what they do really well and what's given us a lot of success over the last 3 seasons. And I am convinced everything will be absolutely fine. Right. So next question, Fred. Will the club ever consider selling naming rights to Villa Park? I think the answer is yes. I think they would. I think they would sell naming rights to Villa Park, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. The reason being, and the reason it was explained to me why it would be probably unlikely to happen, and it makes sense, is Villa Park is one of the iconic stadiums in English football, and it has always been known as Villa Park, and it always will be known as Villa Park. And regardless of who sponsors it, us, the fans, will always call it Villa Park. The press, it'll always be referred to as Villa Park. So what value would that give to any sponsor? So let's say the biggest sponsors in the world come knocking, Coca-Cola, Apple, pick any big multinational company, anyone. If Apple sponsored us, Coca-Cola, they would call it Coca-Cola Villa Park. Nobody would call it that. Everyone would just call it Villa Park. We're going down Villa Park. Nobody would call it Coca-Cola. So what value would that give to a sponsor? I don't think it would give them a lot of value, and they wouldn't see that as being a lot of value. So unless the names which it probably would be all over the ground, I don't know. And I'm not sure they would pay that much currently either as well. So I don't see that happening particularly anytime soon. Last question for now. Pete, up the Villa, Pete. Is it a happy camp in the dressing room with the players? The honest answer is we don't know. We've heard, as I alluded to a minute ago, we've heard lots of rumours about this player, that player, you know, the Ramsey situation, the Martinez situation. Nobody truly really knows. But I will reiterate once more, they're all professional footballers. They all know what their capabilities are. The manager's job is to get them all together, focused and ready for the next game. And I believe that will happen. And I believe we will kick off against Everton in a very good position, frame of mind, and totally 100% focused on the game ahead. That is my honest belief for the Everton game. So thank you to everyone that sent me a question. It was very interesting. And these are something interesting as well I've just seen on the official site. These are the quotes now from the players that have just come in. The first one is interesting for me. Unai, showed me the plan of what they want to achieve this year, and it really inspired me. He definitely persuaded me, and I can't wait to work under him, Jadon Sancho. Now, if you type in Jadon Sancho on any social media platform, especially toxic Twitter, you will see a plethora of negative articles from Manchester United and from the press of Manchester United and from the people that are in Manchester United's pockets, all coming out telling you how terrible Jadon Sancho is, how he's not bothered, he's not motivated, it's an awful signing. I even heard somebody on TalkSport saying it was a panic signing. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Don't buy it. And we'll see. Proof will be in the pudding, will be in the eating when he starts playing. But we heard all this before, didn't we? We heard this in January when we signed Marcus Rashford. And I think everybody had a bit of a worry about Rashford because of, again, the stories that were coming out of Manchester United. He doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to train. He's not bothered. He's a big-time Charlie. It's a terrible signing for Villa. It's a massive risk. For me, it's identical to the Jadon Sancho issue. A player of undoubted talent, of undoubted quality, and that if you get in the right frame of mind, will be a fantastic asset to the club. And I think Jadon Sancho will be absolutely fine. I think Unai has obviously spoken to him. He's obviously assured him of his position and place in the team, not in the first team, but he'll be an important member of the squad. And Sancho has bitten into it. He's 25 years old. It's time to knuckle down and focus on what's important, which is playing football and getting himself back in the limelight again. He was absolutely brilliant in 2 spells at Borussia Dortmund. And if we can get him back to anywhere near that spell, then we've got a real asset. He's got Marlon, he's got Maatsen in the squad as well, who he knew very well from Dortmund. So hopefully that'll help him to settle in at Aston Villa. And I have no doubts he'll be a decent signing for us. And it's only for him to mess up, isn't it? So if he doesn't show the application, if he doesn't show the desire and the will to work hard, then it won't work out for him. But I back him 100% to do that. This one is another interesting signing that was poo-pooed, shall we say, by other people. But hopefully, this is obviously Victor Lindelof. Hopefully, I can help the younger players with my experience and also bring in the quality that I can show on the pitch. I've absolutely no problem at all with Victor Lindelof signing for Aston Villa. I think he has got huge experience, wealth of experience playing at the very, very top. Swedish captain. So now we've got another captain on our hands with Yuri Tielemans. You know, there's not a negative for this. Unless he has a horrific injury in his first game, which hopefully won't happen, then what's to not like about this signing? We were short of a right central defender cover. We've got that now with a player that's got massive experience. And if we need him, he can play. My worry about Bogard was, I'm sure Bogard is easily good enough to come in and play some games. My worry was if Konsa was out for a prolonged period of time, it would put a lot of pressure on a young player to play week in, week out. So having Lindelof there, you can play him in the cup games, you can play him in the Europa games, 2 games a week. You know, when we've got a weaker team in the Europa, we can play Lindelof, rest Konsa for the important Premier League games. There's nothing not to like about this signing. There really isn't. So I think it's a really good signing. And the last one of the trio that came in, coming to Villa Park, you see how passionate the fans are, how well drilled the team is. It's really hard to play against. Having the opportunity to be part of it, I couldn't say no. Again, fantastic track record, great young player who's burst onto the scene, especially in the summer, winning the Euros. I think it was absolutely incredible to get him. I think universally it's been accepted as a very good signing across the board, and I have absolutely no issues with him whatsoever. And I think he'll be a really, really astute signing for us. Right, there's one more quote. I think you're all very aware of this quote, but it's been updated since the transfer window is shut, and it's the Unai Emery quote. There is no limit to our dreams, but it's been updated. Unless the cartel seeks the Premier League and UEFA use financial regulations to stifle any progressive and ambitious club in getting anywhere near them, then there's a limit. I think that's a fair quote, and I think Unai's absolutely bang on when he says that. So, yeah, that's very interesting coming out from the club today. Obviously, that's a joke. That he didn't say that, but that's how I feel, and that's what I think the quote should be. So there we go. Really annoys me. I'm not going to stop going on about it. I spoke about it on Sky, and every chance I get, I'm going to hammer the point home. It's unfair. It's weighted, and it's time it changes. Okay, hope you've enjoyed the show. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop this video a like and get involved in the comment section if you agree or disagree with anything I have said. And I'll never say this, and I should keep saying this, I never do. If you are listening to me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, please can you leave a review, but only leave a review if you give me a 5-star review. I know that sounds really big-headed, but it just helps massively to push it out and gives it a real good push. So if you like what I do, do it. If you don't want to give me a 5-star, don't give me one at all. Absolutely fine. No bother whatsoever. Hope you all have a lovely weekend and have a great weekend. Yeah, that's it. Speak to you all soon.